Whoa, what's up gearheads? Welcome back to Hammerhead Gearhead. Noel Guevara here, and what I have in my hands is like the holy grail of live streaming and HDMI switching. What am I talking about? This is the ATEM Mini Pro. And I can't tell you what I had to do to find one, have it shipped here to Manila, and get it at just the right price. Because wherever I looked, it was around twice or even thrice the price at worst. So I'm very lucky to have this, and it just arrived today. So if you guys are up for a bit of unboxing, a quick unboxing, then stay with me. Okay, so a bit of context. Ever since the COVID-19 pandemic hit us, everyone who was in the field of communications, marketing, advertising, and events had to find a way to continue to do what they were doing for themselves and for their clients without the physical contact. So naturally, live streaming became a big hit. It was the best alternative because for the most part, it was free and it was accessible. You can have Zoom and even Facebook Messenger have rooms now. You can do it through Google Meet and so on. For those who wanted to up the production value of their materials or of their webinars, HDMI capture cards and switchers became in demand. It allowed producers and content creators to use DSLRs, mirrorless, other cameras, put it into the capture card or switcher, and then use that as an alternative to a webcam. And you can even use multiple cameras, so imagine the possibilities of that. I eventually encountered this need when I did my first webinar with Nikon Philippines, wherein I talked about wildlife and wildlife photography, and it was further solidified when I had my show called Behind the Shot, which was a live online talk show with different visual storytellers. They're showing their favorite work and the great stories behind them. And I realized that I needed a switcher as well, so I can use my camera instead of my crappy webcam. So I started my search for an ATEM Mini immediately after my first webinar, that Nikon School Wildlife Talk. I think that was early April. So I started searching for an ATEM Mini. I couldn't find one. It was sold out everywhere, and I just had to wait for stocks to refill. The thing is, Blackmagic immediately announced that they were releasing the ATEM Mini Pro, which I signed up for in B&H and have been waiting ever since. Thing is, it was so in demand that it took me 3 months to get this. I didn't eventually get it from B&H. I got it from a reseller in Amazon who, after I purchased this, was immediately sold out of the item, and I'm very fortunate to have this shipped to me in about a month through shipping cart. As such, I want to make it clear that Blackmagic is not paying me for this unboxing and first impressions video. I paid full price for my ATEM Mini Pro. Now, before we proceed, if you haven't yet, please like this video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. So one thing you would notice off the bat is that it no longer has its plastic packaging. So I removed that and disinfected the box before I brought the product in. It's the new normal, like I said, so we have to be very, very careful. Okay, so let's open it. Open the top. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna turn it around like so. Right there. Okay, so we have the cards. You have the welcome card. You have the software installer and download DaVinci Resolve 16 for free. And then you have the accessories, the plugs. And there it is, the ATEM Mini Pro. Stick it out. Okay, I'm really surprised at how small this is. I was expecting something, let's say, yay big. Maybe as big as the box itself and just half the height. But the fact that it's this small makes it a bit more worth it for me. You know, I can easily use it wherever I need to use it, and I can broadcast from wherever, and I can tell my clients that I could bring this, and you know, it's very light, so very, very portable. So let's talk about the ATEM Mini Pro a bit more. So the Pro is built on the success of the ATEM Mini. The Mini was so successful, if you remember my story, that it was sold out everywhere. In the US, in the region, even locally here in the Philippines. So that was how successful it was. The Pro though is adding 3 new features, which are, and you can see it on the unit itself, record, multi-viewer, and here at the back, I'll show you later, there is a LAN cable that allows you to live stream directly from the unit. So let's go through the features. I've turned it on so that we can see some of the parts a bit better. Off to the left here is what you would normally find on an ATEM Mini. So here are the 4 switches, and then the controls for the audio and everything else that lets you control the feed that's coming from the different cameras, right? And then here you can do the cut, auto, and the fade to black, and so on. Then here you have the effects, picture-in-picture, off, on, and then the duration of the transitions and the type of effects. And right here is where it starts to get different. So this panel right here is exclusive to the Pro. So you have here the multi-viewer, or you can view for the video out, which camera you want to see. So let's say video camera 1, or the source 2, 3, and 4, or it could be the multi-view or the program. And then up here, you have the record to disk and on air switch. Turn it off for the streaming. And then for keying, for the chroma, you have it right there. At the back, from the right, you have your 2 inputs for your mic jack, so 3.5-inch audio jacks. And then you have your 4 HDMI inputs. And then you have your HDMI out for your monitor. And then a USB port. So there are 2 uses for this. One, you can connect that to your computer. So any camera that's connected to the ATEM Mini Pro will be recognized by the computer as a webcam. So that is the beauty of the ATEM Mini Pro. It acts like a capture card as well. Or you can use it for recording. You can connect a USB external hard drive right here, and then you can automatically record whatever it is that you're streaming. And then you have the LAN port, which allows you to broadcast or live stream directly from the unit, or you can control the unit itself. And then you have the port for the AC adapter. So it has a secure screw-on function so that even if you trip on the wire, it won't immediately pull out the plug and terminate your live stream. So, but I hope that doesn't happen to you. On the sides, you have the exhaust ports right there, and then nothing unique about the underside. There is that small part that they can use for mounting or securing on a surface. And that is it. That is the ATEM Mini Pro. Now, what will I be using this for? A lot of projects actually. First would be for multi-camera long-form production. So these could be live board meetings, for example, that they want to broadcast and you have 4 cameras. I can do that on the fly. I can switch from 1, 2, 3, 4. But really, this is more for clients and less for myself. Second, I can save on edit. So let's say I want to edit a certain episode on the fly. I have multiple cameras and I could just switch to any of those cameras here, do picture-in-picture. I could also do that. And maybe when I import it, I just have to trim a bit, add sound, score, and so on. So that makes it a bit easier. Another is on workshops. So I normally have my fundamentals of photography workshops, but now that we have the lockdown, I will have to do that online, live stream. So this will be the centerpiece of that production. So I guess I can have one camera, the main camera on me, so I can talk to my students. A second source would be my iPad. It could be feeding my presentation into the ATEM Mini Pro. A third will be another camera where they can see through the EVF and see all the details, my aperture, my shutter speed, and so on, so I can demonstrate better. And fourth will be another camera that is covering shooting situations. So let's say 2 dolls or 2 figures, and then I could demonstrate the effects of distance to focusing using the third source, which is the one with the EVF, so they can see it clearly. They have a better grasp of what's happening. In as much as I have a lot of praise for the ATEM Mini Pro, there are limitations to the product. And one glaring one is that it can only work with 1080p output. So that is the limitation of this system, this product line. it's not possible using this to do a full-on production, let's say of Hammerhead, Gearhead, which would be great actually, and then just trim it a bit in Premiere and then upload it to YouTube. I can't do that because I normally do and shoot Hammerhead, Gearhead in 4K. So this one would be downgrading the resolution, which I really do not like. Another would be the price to get this now. So I paid around $600 or maybe $700 with shipping to get this through Amazon. But here in the Philippines, they're selling it for, I think, 1,000 or a bit more with change. So it's quite expensive to get the ATEM Mini Pro right now. As for accessories, I got two. The first one is an HDMI coupler from Amazon Basics. So I have the cables that are HDMI Mini that goes to the regular HDMI. So that's for my camera. And then I connect that to this, and then also connect HDMI cables, really long ones, but they're still on the way. That's another accessory that I got, and connect them so that I can link them to the ATEM Mini Pro. So this gives me a lot of leeway on where to position my cameras depending on my studio or the location that I'm shooting in. If you have any questions or comments on the ATEM Mini Pro, please put them in the comment section below and I'll try my best to answer them, or we can discuss further. Now, if you're thinking of buying one or any of the accessories that I showed, please use the affiliate links that I've included in the description below. Doing so will give me more support for my show and my channel as a whole. You can also check out my Instagram, Noel Guevara Photo. And that's it. I told you it was going to be a quick unboxing. Cheers, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.